GamingBolt presents 15 things you need to know before you buy The Last Guardian.
We have a lot to talk about, so without wasting your time, let us begin right away.
Trico has its own mind. We all have our hopes and dreams of riding this majestic beast in The Last Guardian, telling it where to go and what to do and having it do everything at our command. That won't necessarily be the case with Trico, the white hairy/feathered beast. However, Trico is going to show an unprecedented amount of independence throughout the course of the game. You'll see Trico going off and getting across obstacles and objectives at its own pace, so don't expect to boss Trico around. Revamped physics engine. Team Eco, the developers behind The Last Guardian and its spiritual prequels, Eco and Shadow of the Colossus, have used a full physics engine for the third game. That's something they hadn't attempted in the previous game. The part in the game where the boy throws the barrel at Trico is fully based around the physics engine and shows the great depth the game has. Trico and puzzles. If you've played The Last Guardian spiritual prequels, Eco and/or Shadow of the Colossus, you'll remember how puzzle-oriented the games were. The Last Guardian will be no different in being a puzzle/platformer. There will be a bit of a twist to it this time around. Trico is going to be quite involved with the puzzles you're going to try to solve. From jumping from platform to platform or getting up higher, Trico can be used to help bridge many of the locations together for the boy to allow him to access new areas. We are hoping there will be plenty of fun and new ways to get Trico involved in the game as much as possible. Shadow Guardians. Shadow Guardians are your foes in The Last Guardian. These Guardians will try to hunt the boy down and capture him. It's up to the player to avoid these Shadow Guardians, who are similar to the shadows found in Eco. The game has been delayed numerous times. The Last Guardian has been in development since 2007. That's an insane amount of time for any type of game to be in development for. What transpired in those years is something we may not know, but what we do know is that Team Eco was definitely going through a steady stream of development hell along the way. The course Team Eco took was a bit bumpy and rough, which could indicate The Last Guardian may never live up to expectations, but who knows, maybe it will turn out to be the greatest game of all time. Spiritual successor. Each game in Team Eco's pseudo trilogy is a spiritual successor to the last. Where Eco found the love of creating a bond between himself and the Princess Yorda carried over to the bond between Wanderer and his horse Agro. The same can be said for The Last Guardian, playing as the boy who will build that bond with Trico in ways only Team Eco can imagine. Transitioning from PS3 to PS4. In an interview with IGN, The Last Guardian director Fumito Ueda admits that the transition of taking his game from PS3 to PS4 was difficult for him to accept. He believed the PS3 market had become small and moving it to the PS4 made a lot of sense. When he discussed what he found good about the transitioning was, the quality of the graphics had improved. However, the shift to a new platform has only upgraded the game's visuals and not compromised the game's initial vision. Trico's terrors. Trico has a mind of its own, as we talked about a bit earlier, and with a mind comes many emotions. As we've learned, Trico has a set of emotions it will show throughout the experience of the adventure, not only with the boy, but it will try and convey these emotions through the screen to us as well. Trico also has fear that will need to be dealt with, and seeing something it has never seen before may frighten it. Things like mystic symbols can affect Trico. These symbols can not only scare Trico, but they can also harm him in very unusual ways. Unique level designs. Levels in The Last Guardian have been fitted to meet the standards of Trico and what this creature will be able to do within each location. With Trico's large scale, transforming the levels offer new experiences and are completely unique compared to the other games from Team Eco. Not only are the levels wider and taller, but they are also designed for Trico to adapt to them. This will be interesting to see how far the game goes in ways of having Trico help us navigate our way around each area. Keyframed animations. In creating Trico, Team Eco saw the creation of an adolescent, and this led to unique movements from the massive creature in ways that we aren't used to seeing from, say, a horse or a dog. The way Trico translates to screen in that respect is by developing the beast with keyframe animations instead of motion capture. Keyframe animations help develop key animation subtleties that motion capture cannot. Smart use of music. Don't expect to get The Last Guardian and listen to a full symphony orchestra like you might with many AAA games currently circling the market. The Last Guardian will be using music wisely throughout the experience. Music elements are used very rarely throughout to help bring life to key emotional moments that will try and register to the boy, but also to us as players. Emphasis on vertical spaces. Team Ico have gone to create a totally new look in The Last Guardian than in any of the spiritual prequels. Part of this is in the vertically tall platforms and locations that are designed to help make use of Trico, but also to add new elements in from getting from one location to the next. Combination of Ico and Shadow of the Colossus mechanics. Ico was a game that was built around solving puzzles and shimmying your way around difficult platforms. Shadow of the Colossus was a game built around scaling large giants and working your way around the massive world. The Last Guardian is aiming to combine the elements from both games into one and create a full experience that will take your breath away. Tricky camera. Reports have been coming in that the camera in The Last Guardian is a bit tricky. We've been hearing people complain about the camera not adjusting correctly or just not following along. Hopefully these issues have been squashed by the time the game launches in December. Game's pace. Other reports indicate that The Last Guardian's pace is directly connected to how fast Trico reacts to certain elements throughout the game's experience. For example, the boy may need to climb up a high tower and may need Trico's assistance in doing so, but not being able to force Trico to do your bidding will force the beast to move at its own pace. In this type of game mechanic, the entire game is focused around Trico's reaction time, and this may frustrate some players.
And that wraps it up. What are your thoughts about this? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and share it on Twitter and Facebook. And why not consider subscribing? We upload some really cool videos almost every day. Thank you for watching this video, and happy gaming!